I want you to try something for me. I don't think you've ever tried this before, but I want you to try it for me. I want you to think about the thing that you're worried the most about, the thing that keeps you up at night, the thing that sits in the pit of your stomach, clenching you and making you feel awful. I want you to picture it like it's a burden, like it's literally something heavy sitting on your shoulders. Don't be afraid of it. Sometimes we try to shy away from these things mentally, but I don't want you to be afraid of it. I want you to picture it clearly. You can give it a name if you want. Shame or self-loathing or guilt, whatever you want to call it. And imagine it sitting on your shoulders. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to clearly visualize lifting that burden off your shoulders and just setting it down beside you. And then stand back up again. Move your shoulders around a bit. Move your neck from side to side. Feel how light you feel. Your burden isn't going anywhere. At least not in these 5 minutes. But doesn't it feel amazing to just put it down? Just for a minute. Now imagine yourself walking around your regular day without this burden. Imagine how good you feel, how light you feel, how normal life feels, how positive things can be, how bright the future can seem. Picture yourself going through your day, feeling like a normal person. And I don't need to tell you that there is no such thing as a normal person. Everyone has their burdens, whether you see it or not. Everyone has their hidden pain, their problems, their issues. Some are just more visible on the surface than others. But every single one of us has a burden just like you do. But some people have been lucky enough to be able to put their burdens down, at least for a little while. These are the people that seem normal to you. These are the people that seem like they have a normal life. And I want you to feel like one of them, even if it's just for a little while, even if it's just a few minutes, even if it's just in your mind. Imagine how good it feels to just not have this worry anymore. Something else you can do along these lines is you can ask yourself the question, what would I do if I didn't have this burden? Something concrete, something real, specific. What would you do differently if you didn't have this burden? How would it affect your life? How would you live differently? You know, for some people, they can't even imagine that. They draw a blank when you ask them this question. And maybe you're drawing a bit of a blank now, because you quite literally can't imagine life without your burden. And that's okay. If that's where you're at, that's where you're at. But I think it's important to do this exercise because the more you start imagining what life would be like without this burden, the more it becomes a reality to you. It becomes just another way of living your life. And it's something that you may end up wanting to move forward towards because you've pictured it so clearly. You've seen it in your mind's eye, what it could be like. For some people, if they weren't cripplingly shy, they might go out more, they might socialize more. And in their mind's eye, they can picture themselves being among friends and having a good time and feeling okay and not feeling anxious. For other people, maybe it's guilt over something in the past that holds them down. And when they imagine the kind of person they might have been and can still be, if they're not racked by this guilt, it shows them this wide open future, almost like they've got a second lease on life, or like they've just been released from prison or something. For other people, maybe it's their physical body. They imagine what it would be like if they were thinner or more muscular or whatever the case may be. And for those people, you can just imagine how you would feel. And if you could put down this burden of not liking your physical self, you'll probably start to understand that it doesn't matter what your physical self looks like. That can change. But the important part is how you feel about yourself, regardless of what your body looks like at the moment. And for some people, their burden is just a general feeling of lack of self-worth. There's a lot of places that this can come from. We don't even know most of the time why we feel the way we do about ourselves. Sometimes it's our parents, our family, sometimes it's school, sometimes it's the culture around us. And it's a very complicated issue. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't know how to solve that for each person. But I know that a really good, positive first step would be to just put that burden down, even if it's just for a moment, and ask yourself, what would I do differently if I liked myself? If I was okay with who I am? What would I do? How would I feel? How would my life change? And I know this isn't easy. I know. We all go through this. I know. But it's better than the alternative. The alternative is you never do anything about this, and you live your life with this burden weighing you down, stopping you from living your full life, stopping you from achieving the things that you want to achieve. So don't worry about fixing your life all in one go. Don't worry about making a transformation or turning into somebody you're not, or someone you feel like you can't be just at the moment. Start with a very small little step of just imagining how great it would feel to put down your burden. Just take a deep breath and feel how weightless and wonderful it feels. And just know that it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel normal. It's okay to want to. It's within you. You have as much right to live a happy life as anyone else does. So will you put your burden down just for a little bit? I hope so.